Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spider-Man. I've had quite the adventure doing all these Taskmaster challenges off-screen. Turns out it took me about, well, I think probably about 12 to 15 hours to get them all done. And I thought, well, you know, I could do 12 to 15 episodes of doing nothing but Taskmaster challenges, but that might be just a little bit crazy for the people on YouTube, so we're not going to do it. Instead, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through a nice little montage of all of my successful runs. I'll remind you, this did take 12 to 15 hours to do, and hopefully it'll be at least entertaining. We'll talk about the ins and outs, what happened as we went through, and all that wonderful stuff. Okay, the first challenge here is this quad fight. You'll have to excuse me, I did mute the VOD here because, well, I wanted to make sure that you'd hear me and talk about what's going on here. So mostly what these fights are all about is, can you use devices? Impact web, very nice, but unfortunately they only give us 4. So the only way to get the impact webs back is we have to use these finishers. Now, fortunately, lots of things are going on here. We can zap a bunch of people, that gets his impact web back again. And of course, you've got to be able to measure that out. This is more about teaching you how to learn, or how to use not only your devices, but how to use finishers and how to take care of these guys that are like way up top. Stuff like that. What I do want you to pay attention to, though, is how much I mess up. Because even though I mess up, this is still a successful run. Even though I get hit, I mean, ideally, you would not want to get hit in any of these situations, right? You don't want to get hit in any of these Taskmaster fights. You just want to go in and just do it. That's not going to be, you're never going to be perfect. It's never going to happen. You're going to mess up at some point, but that's okay. If you need to bounce around the entire field, that's okay. What really makes this work, though, is if you use your suit power. Web Blossom is fan-freaking-tastic, and it's exactly how we finish this off right here. 73,000 out of 65,000 possible. Not bad, especially not for our first quad fight. If only we had done that the first time, right? Okay, the next one here is the park. The park's a little bit harder to take care of because everybody is so incredibly spread out. This is a huge, huge area. You think the quad was ginormous, well, this place is even more so. It doesn't seem that bad because, well, we've only dealt with these guys right here. I want you to notice also that punch there to the ground that did absolutely nothing. What really works here is trying to be at least a little bit mobile, but look how far those guys are coming in. The range here is absolutely insane. Now, Web Blossom would be nice if it worked here, and I try it here, but really, it didn't manage to get somebody. If they don't have anything to go up against, they're not actually going to be done. But I did have to take care of that guy right there. Now, it did help, but it didn't help as much as I wanted it to. This next one, I've totally forgotten what it is, but that's the way things go sometimes. I do love the Iron Spider suit. It's actually great. Oh, that's right, the stealths. Okay, so the stealths are actually a lot easier than they first appear. All you have to do is not get spotted. That's it. That's the entire criteria. It's not get spotted and be under 2 minutes. I guess that's 2 criteria, but still, regardless, it's not as difficult as it sounds. Mostly, I mean, stay here, pulse for a second. Notice I spent a good 4 or 5 seconds doing nothing but sitting there and waiting for a good, perfect opportunity and then doing it. Spider Sense is actually really good for this because it'll tell you when you're about to get spotted. There's nobody else up here, Spidey. You can go ahead and go downstairs. And from here, you can see I messed up and I hit the wrong guy. I was not aiming for that guy at all, but I figured to roll with it. What the hell? The guy's detection timer went away, so now I know it's safe to go up and nab him. And sure enough, that's the last guy for an extra 1,000 points. But the stealth challenges are actually very simple. They're usually low numbers to reach, low goals. Don't need to worry about that much at all. Again, below 2 minutes. No, don't get spotted. That's it. Here we have another fight. This one's made more difficult by the addition of snipers that go, of course, up top. The shield guys, yeah, okay, they're problematic. But they're not as problematic as, like, any big guys, and we'll get to big guys in a minute. And mostly you just have to know that you need to juggle them, all that good stuff. Obviously, it'd be better if we weren't hit here at all, and if we used more finishers. But these snipers up top, these aren't really a sniper. The sniper is the guy with the blue lasers. Blue lasers means they're going to snipe. You still do get the warning whenever that's about to happen, but they do hit for a lot more, so obviously it's better if we don't get hit at all. And here, again, they're mostly just teaching you how to make this work. Now, here's the first time we use a spider drone in a fight, but it's not going to be our last for sure. Spider drone was way too useful, again, with the web blossom. The spider drone is just way too useful, and notice how much time I'm wasting here. There's a good 3-4 seconds sometimes, like right there, for instance, when I went outside the fight area, that just, there's no reason to have that at all. A second is at least a couple of 100 points, at the very least, and could make the difference between a win and a loss. Now, this is still going to be a win, of course, because I've edited out the 15,000 times it took me to do this correctly, but I just want to point out, you don't have to be perfect. And again, that throw went absolutely nowhere. This does seem like the last guy, so I zoomed to him, but I zoomed incorrectly. Spider drone almost took him out for me, but it turns out I did it anyway. Still, even with all those mistakes, 8,000 above what I actually needed. So, you know, not too bad. Works out. Okay, so the next one here... Hold on, I do have a marker here, what all these are. So that was the... Okay, so next one's going to be drone fight. Okay, not really a drone fight. So financial district drone. So for the most part, these drones don't make the mistake I did. All right, what you'll see here is me going through this like it's a normal web swing in time. There's some point launches here, like say this one right here. Nope. Okay, not a point launch. Should have been a point launch. Wasn't. Yeah, where I'm just messing these up, right? There is a specific power in your set that it can be used for this. Take shortcuts, of course, whenever possible. But notice that point launch there does not have the burst on it. There's a burst point launch that gives you an extra burst of speed. You definitely want to use that. Now, point launch is still good, and it'll still get you there. But it's so much harder without the burst that I wouldn't even suggest it. This right here was me being dumb. I didn't even think about the possibility there might be a skill that made things just a lot easier, so I did without it. And it took me 3 hours to do this drone race. Race? Yeah, well, sure, we'll call it a race. Yeah, it took me 3 hours to do this drone race without the burst. With the burst, you can master the drone races in under an hour. Almost guaranteed. All you have to do is learn their patterns, learn where you can do the shortcuts, and then you're good to go. That's the last sphere I need, so now it's time to go for the shortcut straight to where the drone is. And that's how you shave off those extra 4-5 seconds, is you just need to know the path. Once you know the path, you can skip a lot of stuff. Alright, so unless I'm mistaken, it should be Harlem combat now. And again, really good, what, 1,000 points over? Yeah, here we go. So the Harlem combat, this one teaches you how to deal with big guys. Notice the big guy up near the trunk. He went away immediately due to impact web. That's a lesson. Impact web will impact anybody so long as there is something for them to stick to. Also, another lesson here is you need to be able to throw these big guys. And once you throw them, you can web them down to the ground. It doesn't matter how you throw them or how that works. Finishers would be great here. There you go. That's the finisher I was looking for. Thank you. Now, you might have noticed on the left side here, there's a combat challenge marker. You might think, oh, that might be useful. Figure out where I am when I'm actually doing stuff. No, it's not useful at all. Yeah, so notice the big guy got stuck immediately there, and that's going to happen again here as we web up this bad guy. The combat challenge thing doesn't tell you the whole story. I won't say it's useless, but it definitely doesn't tell you the whole story. The combat challenge score is added to your final score, but there's also a time bonus. There's how many bad guys you beat up. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. Notice how much time I'm wasting here? Because I was trying to get up to these grenadiers, and I ended up being on the wall. I was like, whoops, what am I going to do about that? Okay, so here again, we go with the big guy. Web him directly is not going to work, so we web him up a little bit, throw him, he'll automatically stick to the wall, and I don't have to worry about him all. And there we go, another 500 points. We did lose a bit of time. I could easily have been 2,000 points over for sure. Just couldn't do it because I wasted so much time on the wall next to the Grenadiers. Alright, the next 3 are going to be stealth. So again, this is fairly simple. Just don't get caught, finish under 2 minutes. That's all it takes. These guys are pretty tempting to hit, so sure enough, impact web, impact web. Now, what you'll notice is they're not actually gone until they hit something. The impact web will carry them. And if they hit something on the way down, like say a wall or a pole or something, then they actually get webbed and they won't actually call the alarm. They do manage to call alarm, that's it. Game over. Even if they're webbed, game over. Now, we are going to make a small exception to that in a minute. Or actually less than a minute, but we'll get there. But all you really have to do is just not get spotted. If they turn yellow, that's okay. What you don't want is for them to know that you're there, obviously. It's okay. Sure enough, we take a few seconds to pulse. I'm looking at my things here and see, is there anything good here to use? And going, well, Impact Web could work. I'm going to go for Trap. The traps work very well in a stealth environment. Sure enough, pulled that guy right into it. And that got me another Impact Web. And it's a matter of, well, who do I have left? Well, according to the pulse and according to these question marks, quite a few people left. There's somebody up top. Should take care of him. And he's pretty easy. Now, this is the exception. We can web him up so he can't contact anyone on the radio. And then we can beat him up. That's a little bit of a risky move. I wouldn't recommend that on the regular. But you can do it. You can totally do it if you really need to. Okay. Thinking about going back to the impact webs again. Again, go to the top of the light so you don't have your shadow showing to anybody. But as long as you're on top and not where your shadow will get revealed, you should be okay. And these guys are going to be pretty easy because we have impact webs just to go boom and then boom eventually. There you go. Boom, boom, done. Again, barely made it, not even 100 points over. But hey, what the hell? It worked. Okay, the next one's also going to be a stealth. This one, Hell's Kitchen. This is where I learned the light thing and where the shadow actually goes. Notice I'm going on top of the light poles because shadows are a thing. They will spot you. Impact Web makes this so much easier. Unfortunately, Web Bomb will not. Web Bomb will just web them up, but it doesn't push them back. And you really want to push back. So any finishers you can do, that would be great. Impact Web's really going to be like your bread and butter for this. I tried to trip mine there just to see if it would happen, but he's way too far away, so he gets pinged. Okay, well, the nice thing about the thing on the left, it doesn't always tell you not only what your score is, it's not your full score, by the way, but it will let's tell you how many people you have left. I only have 2 people left, this is going to be easy, right? As long as I don't alert these 2 people, well, should be good to go. Looks like I can pull one of them right there. That's where the pulse actually comes in very handy, because we just grab you, impact web you, and that's it. Again, only 36 over what I needed, but good enough for me. Alright, I think we have one last stealth side. Yeah, this is the dockside stealth. This one took me a little bit to get the right pattern down. Really, this guy, first guy, easy. Impact web, no problem. Second guy, easy. Just grab him, pull him to you, no problem. Third guy's a little tougher. Actually, better to use an impact web, grab him, and grab number 4 here. Hit him against the wall, that's it. But then someone's going to see you unless you move. You've got to move quick. The guy's going to see you, the guy I'm going after right next. The guy way up top. I know, it seems weird, right? This guy shouldn't be seeing me at all. But for some reason, that's the guy who spots me every time. I don't know, it could be a bug in my game or something. We can grab the next guy over here really easily. Didn't even get a chance. And now you actually go over to the edge. That was too far, but it worked anyway. And now we can grab this guy. Okay, now we just have the 2 guys regarding the hostage. Should be pretty simple, or 3 guys, really. He's pretty safe. Ping him, and then one last guy. Caught him just before he caught me, but hey, we got 1,000 over, so good enough. Alright, the next one here are the bombs. Now, bombs, again, are probably going to require that point boost, and this is the last one without the boost, really. Again, would not recommend doing this without the boost. If you have the experience points, grab that boost. Absolutely grab it. Because this took me so long to master without it. Now, the point launch is still pretty good, but without point launch boost, it took me, what, I think 3 hours to master this? It's pretty insane. Now, there are point launch points right next to the bombs. So if you manage to get some height, and that's definitely what you're going to need for this bomb. Notice how I skim the water there in order to make sure I don't touch anything. We're going to do that one more time here. It's going to be a basic skim, and then point launch right to the bomb, and then go for it. Again, look at the time that I had there. I needed a good 25 seconds just to hit 16024. 24 points over. A little bit too slow, and that's going to be it. All right, for this next bomb, these are the ones where I grab the point boost and going, you know what? Fuck it. We need that time. And you so need the time for this. Again, the point launch points are really important, and the boost point is going to be really important. You want to go for height here because you want to see, well, you want to be able to get up to where that bomb is. Now, fortunately, you don't have to go too far for height. This is good enough. And you do a small jump over. Look how much time I'm wasting. I wasted a whole second there. But still, we're going to make it. And then we jump over, jump through. This is where the height matters. And this is where the X to do the slight boost in the air matters too. You point boost right to it, throw it, you're good. And only 195 points over, but that's all it needs. All right. Oh no, actually, we have 2 more bombs after this. We're going to do a drone first. All right, so again, drone this time with point boost. Notice I'm using it almost every time I point launch. If I don't do it when I point launch, it's because I messed up the timing on it. It has to be done, basically you press X as soon as you touch down. It's a little hard to get the hang of, but once you do it, this will teach you, by the way, how to do it. You're worried about doing it or being able to get the timing right. This will teach you just by getting all the Taskmaster achievements. Notice my screw up there? That's okay. Roll with it. Keep going. You screw up, you'll know when it happens. You'll know when it happens so badly you're going, you know what, I just fucked up there. There's no way. You miss like the first gate, it's just over. Just drop it. Let the drone get 250 meters ahead of you. The timer will reset. You can just go in. Yeah, dance, Spidey. You deserve it. All right, another drone here. Again, point launch. Hugely important. Being able to learn their patterns is actually hugely important. You're never, at least I don't think anyone's going to get this first try. Maybe it's possible. I don't think it's possible. You really have to learn where these guys are going and where the shortcuts are. Because you have to know, like, this one's going to go underneath the bridge. And I totally screwed up here. But notice, even though I screwed up, this is still going to be a win. No idea why these guys have an accident basically perpetually there. This one also tests your verticality. Notice how we go up and then down over and over again. This is going to be testing not only your verticality, but your precision. Because it really asks you to do that. You don't need to do that. You can definitely get that sphere without doing it. But notice that I touched that one with my toes, and it still kind of sort of worked. So you don't need to be perfectly inside the sphere every time. You can totally be on the edges and be totally good. But obviously, you're not sure. Keep an eye on that streak bonus. You'll get a good indication of whether or not you're good to go. You definitely do need the streak bonus every time, though. That's the only way you're going to get a score. Given that we were only 1,000 over. All right, bombs again. Okay, so this one, we're just going to go. And I don't even know roughly where this is. This is the second time I do it. But this one does require some destruction. Like, the bomb's inside this box. Blow it. Blow it. There you go. All right, the next one is going to be actually in a park, not inside of something. So, actually, no, I'm thinking of the wrong one, aren't I? Totally thinking of the park one. This one does not inside of something, though. But the next one's going to be, like, inside a trash bag, and that's going to be a little difficult unless you know exactly what you're going for. I'm going to go for a little bit of speed here rather than height, because that's more important right now, and I definitely don't need the height because it's on ground level. Again, point launch right next to the bomb, but I don't need it. I pulled the trash away and then hit the bomb. Still barely got me there, but it did. Okay, so this one has 4 bombs. This one's tougher. This is, I believe, the Midtown. This one's definitely going to be a lot tougher with 4. You're going to need to use point launch boost for this, for sure. Without boost, I don't think I'd be able to do it. Again, you need to land pretty much right on them. There are point launch markers right next to the bombs. That took me a while to figure out, so I'm going to tell you that right now, just because it took me so long to do it. Point launch whenever you can. You want verticality for this, if only because the buildings here are so tall. They're actually got a little difficult to get over and around. Sometimes it's better to go the more direct, crow's flight route. Even though we're going for a park ground level bomb, still a good idea. Okay, now the next one's going to require some definite verticality. And sadly, we're at ground level, so you've got to swing up and walk the building. Don't mess that up. I messed this up several times. I think I've got it down now, but it's so hard to tell. Now, this point launch will fool you, but that's okay. We don't care too much about this one. The 4th one, though, is up top and up high, so we got to stay up high. Point launch burst is the only way we're going to be able to do that over and over and over again. Well, at least consistently. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to get this in time. Otherwise, you're going to be climbing the building, There's too many balconies in order for this to work. All right, last Taskmaster challenge. This is the Upper East Side drone. This one goes through Oscorp and a couple other little fancy maneuvers. This one took me a while to do, but I do have burst for this, or boost, whatever you want to call it. Notice the shortcuts I'm taking, though. I have learned this route over and over and over again. So notice that the shortcuts are actually really important for making the drones work. We have to know when they're going to drop those spy cam streak bonuses so that we can pick them up. But if they're not going to drop them, we don't need to be there. Like here, we need it. We know there's going to be one on the side of the building here. There's going to be another one over there, but there's not going to be one in between. So we can jump right over this building and go right for the spy cam where it's going to be. And in fact, in some cases, you're going to get a little bit, well, it's going to look like you have Spidey sense yourself. Because I can just skip right over this because I know he's not going to make one low. I can go right for this one here just right after he creates it, which saves so much time. And you're going to need every second. And notice I don't point burst here because there's so much in the way of verticality. It's right on the ground floor, but actually relatively close enough, and then it goes right back up again. So I want to maintain my speed, try to maintain as much height as I can, and then finally, this is the shortcut right here. The drone took the long way, but we know which way the drone's going to go. We know he's not dropping any streak bonuses there, so we can go straight for it. All right, last but not least, Taskmaster himself. At some point, after you're done with these challenges, Taskmaster is going to grab you. Just what he did right here. And of course, Spidey's going to be a little upset. Now, Taskmaster is a big old cheating bastard. His basic idea is that, well, he's learned all your moves. Once he sees your moves, he knows your moves. Now, we do have a little bit of an advantage in that he doesn't seem to have anything resembling Spidey sense. But he can still block like a son of a bitch. So what you need to do is grab what you can, dodge whatever you can. Now, if you manage to time the dodges correctly, and I have not done that here, notice how many times I'm screwing up. If you time the dodges correctly, Spidey will automatically web Taskmaster, and you can get a punch in. If you do it incorrectly, though, not going to work. Now, here's where I started to say, you know what, fuck it, have some Spidey drones. This may have taken him down. What I hate about this fight, though, is that there's no health bar for Taskmaster. I really want there to be a health bar, so I know how much I need to hit him. Yeah, it's also a little bit hard to tell exactly when he's going to be available. You can throw a bunch of webs at him. I'm not trying here. It's not working. Counterattack's really the only thing that'll work. Throwables also, but there's a limited number of throwables. Basically, anytime that he managed to throw something at you in the red, and that's when you dodge, that's basically a perfect dodge, then, oh, actually, not that time. But with this, he's a little stunned. I can go in for at least one hit. I could probably do 3. I'm still trying to figure out if there's any good way to do this, and it turns out, nope, there's no object I can throw at him, except for the ones he throws at me. But see, has to be perfect, though. If it's not a perfect shot, then for some reason it just doesn't work. So I'll just grab what he takes, punch him in the face with it, 1, 2, 3, and that's all you get. Do not be greedy. Taskmaster will punish any greed. Like right there, he punished me for just not being fast enough, really. Okay, and after that, you know, Taskmaster is not too bad. He'll try to grab some items and he'll try to hit you. But Spider-Man at least has a Spidey sense. It's not going to be that bad. Don't let him get any finishers on you, though. He will totally wreck your shit with those finishers. I don't know how many times I've actually been taken out by Taskmaster. I had to redo this fight a couple of times. Really easy to redo the fight. You just go do one of the challenges again. You don't need to place or anything like that. Once you get the gold, you have the gold forever. You just need to do the challenge and then leave it, and Taskmaster will find you. Believe me, he'll find you. Okay, we're almost done with this fight. I can tell only because I'm looking at the actual recording time and seeing what this is, rather than anything else, but I know it's happening. Yeah, I'm trying the singularity here, doesn't work. Trying a whole bunch of my items, do not work. The only thing that works is counterattacks. I wish he didn't nerf you so much. I really don't like this fight. This fight feels like a big old cheat. It doesn't feel like it really belongs with the rest of the game at all. But the 1, 2, 3 hits, man, that's all you can do. You can't even air juggle this guy. You can't finisher him. You can't do anything with him except for counter and then attack. That's all you can do. So just do that, and eventually it'll be over. We're almost done here. But I'm going to be skeptical about it because, yeah, see, I messed that up. And he punished me for it. I'm going to heal myself really quick. One last throw. I'm not even going to believe it because, like that. And we'll actually get back to sound here. Oh, I don't believe it.
School's out, Taskmaster. Why are you stalking me?
An organization hired me to see if you're worth recruiting.
I'd rather be Jonah Jameson's foot masseur than work for anyone who'd hire you.
Your loss, they pay 6 figures.
Ha.
Guess some people just deserve to be poor.
6 figures? Nah.
Alright, and that'll do it. That are the Taskmaster stages, at least the first ones that I know about. I want to thank you guys for watching. This has been Spider-Man. I'm Piece of the Universe, here, Piece of the Universe 2. We'll see you next time for some actual story.